Hello, this is Steve Malone with Compass FX. Hope you're doing well today and you're getting some good trades. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been fooled by the market? You ever take a look at a chart, and as you look at that chart, it looks like it's a certain setup and you're all ready for it. But come to find out, lo and behold, the market doesn't appear as what we think it appears. We misread the chart. And so today in my live active trade room, there was a setup, and I'm going back in time and taking a snapshot of what the Euro-Dollar 15-minute chart looked at as I was about to wrap up the day as we came to the close of the European session. So if we take a look at this chart right here, some of the members in the active trade room were mentioning that, hey Dean, I see a potential triple top here. 1, 2, 3, and they were looking at loading up and looking for the market to go short. However, I got to thinking, guys, this isn't what you think it is. I don't think this is a triple top. And there's various reasons why I don't think it is. I see higher lows. I see the market kind of grinding higher. And on top of that, what do you think the interbank dealer market's thinking right now? The guys who are creating the marketplace, they realize that retail traders and other traders are looking at this going like, 1, 2, 3, triple top, we should see this thing fall over. And I would suspect that short sellers were stacking up in this area here. All in this area, short sellers were stepping in the market. But I got to thinking, this really isn't a triple top. Let's take a look at what really is a triple top, and then let's come back and find out really what is this pattern we're looking at. A triple top pattern is one where we do have 3 peaks, very similar peaks like so. So we have peaks A, B, C that form a resistance line. Now what we look for in a triple top pattern is a similar low point. So what we're looking for is troughs of the peaks form a support line. And we really are looking for a horizontal resistance line up top and a horizontal support line at the bottom seen right here. Now this goes into more detail as how to measure the potential target on the break of that. But let's take a moment and go back to our chart that we were looking at earlier. You can see here that we have the 3 highs across a top, a top, and a top. But if we try to find that bottom here, well, we don't necessarily have a horizontal bottom here. We don't have a range situation. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that every single peak has to have a similar low point. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that the lows here are getting higher and higher. And what I think is happening in the marketplace is what is referred to as an ascending triangle. It gives you the thought or the feeling that, hey, here's a triple top, let's go short. But I really don't think that's what's going on here. I think what we're having is a ascending triangle. Let's take a look. When you look at an ascending triangle, you can notice that it forms a high that's very similar. You can see 1, 2, 3 highs, all about the same area, forming a similar top, kind of a horizontal resistance line. But look at what's happening on the lows. The lows are getting higher and higher. This is an ascending triangle which has a long bias in the marketplace. So when we look at our chart, if we go back and take a look at our chart on MetaTrader, let's see what it looks like from this standpoint. You can see here that we do have the highs and we do have those higher lows I was talking about. And I mentioned to folks in the trade room, I said, okay, if you'll start thinking like an interbank dealer, where's the most amount of pain in the marketplace for the retail traders? Well, the most amount of pain, if I'm a short seller, if I'm sitting here going like, I see a triple top, I'm going short. Well, I put my stop somewhere up above. Well, for the interbank dealer market, that's easy money for them to just push the market back up, collect the stops before the market actually rolls back down. Now consider this. The Traders Dynamic Index it's actually tightening down as well into a wedge or a triangular pattern. See, lower highs coming across, higher lows coming across, and all coming to right about the 50 mark, but a little bit above the 50 mark. Do we still have an upward bias or not? Well, if you take a closer look at this and consider what's going on, I think there is a possibility of the market actually pushing to the upside. See, sometimes what happens as we trade is the market gives us certain setups and we think, okay, we've got this thing figured out. It's going to do this. And then the market goes in the opposite direction. Well, if you think like a retail trader and look at the simplicity of just the chart pattern you're looking at without thinking about all the aspects of the marketplace, if everybody here is looking to go short, and I promise you the interbank dealers see it, other institutions see the triple top scenario, where's the easy money? It's back to the upside. And on top of that, with the lower highs, it's feasible for it to go back to the upside. Let's take a look at what took place later this afternoon. You can see here, it's exactly what the market did. The market followed the ascending triangle pattern, stopping out many of those who were shorting in this area. Remember, as a retail trader, oftentimes 20 to 30 pip stops are not enough, and you're going to get yourself knocked down. Consider low leverage, appropriate stop, maybe above the weekly high or daily high, or something that you can work with that meets with your money management style. But consider for a moment that sometimes we see things and we think, oh, this is it. And in fact, it really isn't. Consider the different factors of the marketplace, attempt to be neutral. There's always a reason for the market to go long. There's always a reason for the market to go short. Consider what's going on when you see a chart pattern and you think, oh, I got this figured out. Consider for a moment what's going on the other side of that potential trade. So if you look at this as a potential triple top with a bias short, consider also what might be the bias long. And that might keep you from being fooled by the market. Well, folks, this is Dean Malone with CompositeFX. I hope some of the information I've shared with you in this video will help you in your trading. Y'all make it a good day. Get some good trades. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.